Welcome to Between the Lines. We are here tonight. We're still talking about nonprofits, and we're talking about one of the longest standing. I mean, I can remember when I was in college or a little bit later, maybe a little bit later than that. I can always remember Aid to Distressed Families and the work they did and all that happens, and they still do a lot of that work, and we want to talk about today. We're with Annie today. We use first names here.
That's great.
Annie Cacheiro, you've been the director now how long?
I think it's 16 years.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Been a while. 09. That sounds right.
Yeah.
So she's been in it for a long time, and they do a lot of work. And I think they're most famous for facilitating help for people that need rent assistance. You did utility assistance for a long time until the city did it.
No, we still do utility assistance.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe the city, that's right. Maybe you did it. And then helping people get home improvements and other things. And it's just basically housing centered or living centered, and it's been a very, very good program. Been fortunate enough not to have needed it, I don't think, any time in the last 25 years, but I know a lot of people that have. And,
absolutely.
And didn't they still have that storm assistant, what's the thing called? You know, where they have, you can, weather.
Oh, like weatherization assistance?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can still do some of that. Yeah.
I see that every once in a while and stuff. So welcome, and we're going to talk for 30 minutes and tell us what's going on. And we're in February of 2025, so what do we got going for this year? What are we going to be doing?
Well, first off, ADFAC just celebrated last week our 38th birthday.
So now I can do some math there. Now we're going. So you started in the 80s.
1987.
Okay.
So,
I thought it was earlier than that, but that's good.
Yeah.
Have you been in First United Presbyterian the whole time?
We have been at First Presbyterian Church the whole time.
Kudos to them.
Yep.
That's great that they're such an integral part of that. And
they are.
I appreciate it. I know you drive behind the building, you slide in. I've been to your office a few times. You go left, and can remember
right.
that. Can't remember a name, but you know how it is. That's the way us seniors are. But it's a very valuable program, and I know there's a lot of volatility in the transitions going on nationally, but we'll just proceed with, we think everything's going to get better in the next months ahead. So what are some of the things you're planning for this year? What are we doing?
Okay. Sure. So this is our, like I said, it's our 38th anniversary. We are focused this year on trying to continue everything that we're already doing, but just doing it as effectively and as compassionately as we can.
Good.
So, we are still continuing all of our same programs. We have our household assistance program. Which
let's stop and go over each one, because some people don't know it.
You got it. So we got 3 programs.
One county.
Actually, no, Anderson, Campbell, Morgan, and Rome.
Okay, so 4 counties. Here we go, folks.
Yep. So originally, ADFAC was just started with the concept of helping with things like rent and utilities.
That's correct.
And that became our household assistance program. So that is the program that still, to this day, only serves Anderson County at this point. We are looking to potentially expand to another county. We're doing the research and things like that.
So what goes to other counties?
Our housing program and the school supplies both go to the other 3 counties.
School supplies. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah. So household assistance is the first. We'll cover that one first. Rent, utilities assistance. They also get like a sit down with a social worker on like budget planning and how did you get to this moment and how can we help you? What kind of referrals can we give you? What partner can we refer you to? They might need household items, or they might need mental health support, or they might need domestic violence support. So we're definitely that referral and stop point for that. And then, so that's the first program. The second one is our Appalachian Housing Partners, and that program focuses on doing home repairs and new home builds. And that program can serve all 4 counties, depending on when we get the grants for which counties.
How do income qualifications?
Yes, all of them are. If you qualify for like SNAP benefits, you're going to qualify for ADFAC.
Help us with that. A lot of people have housing needs that aren't on other kinds of assistance.
Correct. If you are, I should have the numbers in front of me.
That's okay, just rough.
I think it's, God, what is the number? I can't remember. I knew it.
Up to a certain income?
Yes. And
it's
those,
not based on assets, it's based on income.
Correct. That is a very good point. Yes. So, yes, they just have to call and we'll walk them through.
So I bring you a tax thing. It says that my income last year was $42,000. I'm going to qualify. If it says $182,000, I'm probably not going to qualify.
That is very correct.
So,
yes.
The number's going to be around 80 to 100,000, maybe, or something like that.
It depends on the number of people in your household.
Okay.
So if you've got 10 people in your household,
what if you're a
that number's
couple?
higher.
What if you're 2 people?
Again, I don't know that number.
Yeah,
off
the
top of
number
my head.
slides on the
Yes,
scale. Okay,
exactly.
we got it now, folks.
It
So you're
goes
going to
by
have to
the
go
number
through,
of people.
you're going to have to go through that qualification to figure out for all
Yes.
of your programs.
Except school supplies. That one is done through the school systems, and so we don't actually pre-qualify
You
those
give
folks.
you give the supplies to the school. Somebody else does that. We had on the program 3 or 4 months ago in Morgan County. I can't remember the name
Okay.
of the group. Brad, can you hear me? That's okay. Remember we had that group in Morgan County that gave out school supplies? I can't remember. It was limited to Morgan County schools, I think.
Yep.
So basically you give them to schools. What school systems do you work with?
Okay, so we work with Anderson, Campbell, Morgan, and Roane counties.
Okay.
And so in Morgan County, it was probably a Morgan Scott project that you
It
talked
was the
to.
Morgan Scott
okay,
project.
so yeah, we
Thank you,
partner
thank
with
you.
them,
Yeah, she
and
mentioned you. That's right.
and we kind of figure out who's doing which schools and which students and that kind of stuff.
That-
so
she said the same exact sentence.
yeah. So our school supply program, actually, we get the school supply list from the schools. So if you're a third grader at Linden or you're a third grader at Clinton Elementary, your list looks different. That one might need purple
So you
folders.
work with Oak Ridge schools?
Yeah, all of the schools.
Okay. When you say counties, I think county schools.
Every school
Clinton,
in those
Oak Ridge,
counties.
okay.
So
All public.
yes.
Okay.
And some private. Some
Okay.
private schools have, particularly like St. Mary's, has some students who are income eligible, and so we will actually work with them as well.
Good.
So
St. Mary's is almost like part of the town anyway. I mean,
They
they're
are.
the one school in the town, right? I mean, my son went there, and a lot of people that are in elected office stuff with kids went there, and just they do a great job. And there's a lot of people there that are very poor. It's
Correct.
a good balance of people.
Correct.
And everybody gets exposed to each other. But
So we
well,
we get the list from the school,
Right.
and then we purchase all the items.
how many in
at
Anderson
bulk.
County? I'm not going to do the other counties, but how many school supply packages would you guess you give out?
In the county, I don't know, but total for all of them was 5,200 last summer.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, for all 4 counties. Yeah, I don't have the statistics of the specific
understand.
ones, but
What's in the bag?
okay, it depends. Like if you're a third grader at Linden, it's different than if you're a
Uh-huh.
third grader at Clinton Elementary because you have a different school supply list that is given to us.
That's good.
That's
well, what
the
are
whole
general
point.
things that they look at? They're not getting an automobile. They're not
No,
getting.
no, they're going to get what's on their school supply list.
Which
So
is what kind of things are on the list?
it depends on the school. So that's one school may say they want, a pack of paper and a purple folder with
I got you.
with prongs.
And is it the school or just each class in the school? Probably.
the grade.
Yeah, the grade. That's
So the grade. And so the school sends us the list.
Pencils are automatic.
If it's on the list, yeah. We'll get them in there. And so that child who gets that backpack, so we pack them all with volunteers.
So you get a backpack. Everybody gets a backpack.
Everybody gets
Okay,
backpack.
I got something everybody gets.
And she gets a huge variety of backpacks so that they're not all the same.
Right.
So
That
they're
would be
very
kinda weird for the
trendy.
kids, wouldn't it? Yeah.
They're very trendy. They're very fun backpacks. And then they get packed by volunteers. And then we deliver them to the schools. And then the school counselors actually distribute those backpacks.
I learned early, and this is the St. Mary's thing too, and the public schools too. But I learned early that I bought really nice, larger backpacks that could carry some. Within 6 months, my kid had back problems from carrying that heavy backpack around. Sometimes the lighter backpacks will make
It
more
depends.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on what they have to carry around too.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's how we do it. And then all those students are receiving them directly from the school. So we don't actually, you were asking about qualifications. We don't qualify
The
those
school
individuals.
qualifies them.
The
They just
school
go, I got
determines that.
38 to meet the standards. And those standards are federal, so it's not.
And they'll tell us, we need this many for this grade.
That's good.
And we need this many for that grade. And so then we pack them all up and we distribute them.
Okay, so we got the school supply thing down.
Uh-huh.
What's next?
Well, that's the 3 programs. So we did housing.
Okay, but I don't know much
Household
about
assistant.
housing and household assistance.
Okay, household assistance
Let's
is.
do household assistance.
That is the rent and utilities.
Okay.
So they can get assistance with, if they are facing eviction, if they are facing a utility cutoff, then we often get those folks because they get referred to us by other entities that they need
Oh,
that
yeah. I've
assistance.
referred people to you over the years.
All the time.
Call ADFAC.
All the time.
Yeah.
We consider ourselves the first stop. We want to be the first stop.
And how many utility bills would you guess? I know you're going to tell me it depends. But guess, how many would you say you pay in a monthly bill, every month?
I can tell you that last year we helped about 1,200 households.
Okay.
So that tells
100
you.
a month, right?
So you could, you could.
You could rough it out.
Yeah,
Any
you
months
could rough
worse than
that out.
others? Any months worse
Well,
than
certainly for utilities, yeah, because you have the really high months of the winter bills and then the really high months in the middle of summer. So those are
yeah, me
typically
too.
higher. Yeah, exactly.
So,
So those are
but-
typically higher.
And that's when they get in trouble more. Yeah.
Often, yeah.
Single mothers with children, still a big issue?
Certainly, and certainly, people who are dealing with any other kind of issues like mental health challenges or loss of job or a real health issue that has caused them to not be able to be employed for a period of time or changes in their employment.
Does 1 month help them?
Yeah, actually, sometimes it really, really can. If we can help them get through that little gap,
Right.
then, the job kicks in, whether or by us paying that utility bill, that allows them to pay off the
average utility
other
bill
things.
you pay, what, $200?
I think it's $250.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Oak Ridge, you'd be higher.
We still got our max, but we do have a contract with the city of Oak Ridge, so we are in the position to try to
negotiate
help
a little
as many
bit.
of those people as we
Okay.
can.
I
Yeah.
got it. So we got electric going around. Now, housing assistance also pay a bill, pay a month, pay a rent. You pay mortgages?
We could if somebody is eligible by income, right? And then if they own their home, that's great. We can
It's
pay
a month
mortgage.
a month.
We can pay a mortgage.
Whatever the situation, you get 1 month help.
Yeah.
You're a bridge, basically, in the end, is what you are.
Correct. Now, depending on
And for 30 days, you're a hero.
that too. But I think more importantly, sometimes it's just that peace of mind of knowing that one thing is off of their list. It's off of their shoulders.
When do they
at
get
that
back
moment.
on the list again for a second month? A year later? Once
I
a
think
year?
it's a year.
Once a year?
I think
That
it's
makes
a
sense.
year
What
that-
I would say it is.
Yeah. And
So
then
once a year.
we do have a grant in place, and we're hoping that it gets reinstated. Is it will allow us to do a significant amount more. It would allow us to do back payment to help someone get out of a rent arrears and even help them going forward. So it's designed very specifically to establish stability for them. And right now it's on hold, but we're hopeful we'll get that grant back in place
Yeah,
soon.
I think things are working through the federal system. It just takes a
Yeah.
little time. To be honest, it's been slow in periods throughout history. I mean, I've had some, when I wrote grants for 8 or 10 years, and you just, block grants are easy, but still the money's got to flow through
Sure.
and do some stuff. All right. And then the home grant is different than the utilities and assistance. That's
Correct.
the rental, I guess, payment. Okay.
Yes, so-
Total budget for ADFAC in a year?
This year it's 2.2 million with about
Goes
one.
fast in utilities and rent.
It sure does. It sure does. And then it's about 1.6, 1.7 of that is actual direct assistance,
Yeah.
and then the rest of it is, that does not include what we have to pay for staff to be able to.
Staffing. You have staffing?
We have 10 employees.
What do they do?
What do they do? Well, we have 3 MSWs. Actually, we'll have 4 MSWs really soon. Masters in Social Work.
I understand. I had a degree in psychology.
Okay, so our counselors are the ones who meet with our
So
clients.
you actually do behavioral services and help people.
I'm not sure if it's behavioral services, but it's definitely a counseling situation.
That was
So,
yeah, that's
so they call and they walk through the whole thing with our social
With your
worker.
MSW. MSW was a big job in the 70s and 80s, man. It was
Yeah.
a big job.
I'm grateful to have them because you don't want me in that job. It's not my skill set. So I love seeing how productive and how kind and how compassionate they are.
That's your business.
But at the same time,
They're tough.
they're tough, and they're like, okay, let's look at your budget and why this is happening.
That's right.
And this is what I might suggest you do differently. So I love watching them in action. They're fun to watch.
You try to help people get things
Yeah.
done. What's the breakdown in the 3 counties? Anderson is 50% of your business? Rome 30, Morgan 20, or something like that?
It kind of fluctuates, actually. It really fluctuates depending on our home, the grants that we get to build new homes, because that's when those come in, they're $200 and something thousand at a time. So that really kind of makes, the numbers do this and this.
Who builds the homes
We have contractors that we actually contract with
that
to
you
build those
negotiate
homes.
deals with and all that stuff ahead of time?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And then people who are eligible for the new homes are folks who are stable and have their own, income, have their own
Sustainability,
stability.
making the payments. Yeah.
They're ready to do that. They just might not have the money for the down payment. They may not have that, and sometimes we have to help them a little bit to work on their credit rating to get their credit up. But they will end up with a mortgage, so it's not like we're just handing out a house. They will get a mortgage in the process. It's just we walk them through it and we help them with some of the
If you're helping
finance
to build a
stuff.
house, you're getting $200,000 grant to build a house. That should cover a house. There
That
wouldn't
what?
be a mortgage, would there? Why would there be a mortgage?
The whole point is to encourage home ownership to build wealth. So you don't want to just give away a home. If you give away a home,
Run me through it. I'm a guy. I'm coming through. I live in Andersonville or somewhere less prosperous, Claxton, and I want to build. So I've got a $200,000 grant. I've been approved for them. How does the money flow?
the money doesn't actually come to you. It comes to
Okay.
ADFAC,
Okay.
and that money is given to us to construct the home.
Okay.
And then once the home is constructed, the house is sold, and then that individual will have a mortgage elsewhere to pay
And how
for
much of that $200,000 will that person be able to pay?
They have to purchase the home for the whatever the market rate is on that home.
Wow.
But then we can help them with like a down payment, or we can help them in other ways.
Something's wrong in these math. I can't figure it out.
You can't
Somebody's
figure it
making
out?
money here. Okay.
So ADFAC actually makes some money to
Yeah.
to then reinvest in building another home, or to reinvest in putting money back into home repairs.
Right.
Yeah.
So you get $200,000, they get a $180,000 home. You help them with the down payment out of the $200,000. They end up with a mortgage of $150,000, and they start paying on that home. And that balance of $130,000, $140,000, whatever, you keep and rotate to the next house. So it's really not a house grant in the sense they're paying for the house.
Correct. It's a grant to ADFAC. It's not a grant to the individual who's purchasing the home.
But you use it for that.
Correct.
Good. I never understood that.
That's how that grant works. I mean,
Okay.
that's how it's designed.
But they're getting a home below market, basically.
Sometimes, yes, and sometimes it has to be sold at market. It depends on the grant. They have different.
But they couldn't qualify
Qualifies.
otherwise because they don't have the credit for it and everything else, so you provide that opportunity for them.
Correct. Correct.
Very good.
Those are all like pieces of the puzzle.
I like
it's a
it.
big puzzle, but that's kind of the pieces of the puzzle.
All right. Channel, let's take a break, and we'll be right back.
Awesome.
From Oak Ridge, Tennessee, IB3 Global Solutions conducts operations around the world to enhance the U.S. national security posture and minimize radiological and nuclear threats. IB3 Global Solutions. Mission first.
Feeling overwhelmed with your business finances? At P&L Business Services, we handle all your bookkeeping, payroll, and tax needs. From federal tax returns to QuickBooks training, we've got you covered. With over 25 years of experience, we provide customized packages to fit your business. Focus on what you love most, building your business. Let us take care of the rest. Call 865-294-4792. P&L Business Services, empowering you to grow your business.
Prescription drug misuse is a prevalent and potentially fatal problem. When people do not properly monitor, store, and dispose their medications, it can create an opportunity for misuse. Count it. Make it a goal to count your pills once every 2 weeks. Lock it. Secure your medications at home. Drop it. Drop off unused or expired medications for proper disposal at any police department in Anderson County. For more info, visit asapofanderson.org. Brought to you by ASAP of Anderson. Prevention works.
Over 14,000 neighbors live in fear of becoming sick or injured and having to make a choice between putting food on the table or seeking medical care. The free medical clinic tries to take that fear away.
What do we help them with? We help them with diabetes, hypertension, any kind of medical need that they need that's necessary. And being in a community with the African American community lets them know that we're here.
Fan Gear Barn is Oak Ridge's source for new and vintage sports fan gear from around the world of sports. Find your favorite team gear at Fan Gear Barn, located at 977 Oak Ridge Turnpike, across from the hospital. Open 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., 6 days a week. Closed on Sundays.
Okay, folks, we got about 14 minutes left. We're talking to Annie Cacheiro of ADFAC, who's been there since Truman administration, somewhere back there. She's been there a while. And the only person I've ever known. Who ran it before you?
Actually, there's been several people that ran it before me. Kathy Womack was there for a long time.
Oh, yeah, I remember Kathy. That's the one I remember. She was there a long time.
And Carol Siemens was there before that.
Her. I don't remember
I think she was there in the beginning.
Yeah. Kathy, I remember. She was there up until you got there, right?
A couple of years difference, but yes, yeah.
Kathy was there a long time. Kathy was okay. I liked Kathy. We did a lot of extra Warwick County stuff in those days.
Yes, I bet.
25 years ago, 26 years ago, maybe now. Okay, so how do you get your budget? How do you raise money? You got grants. How much money in your $2 million, and it sounds like a lot of money, folks, but it's basically a lot of money washing through for houses and electricity.
Yeah.
The actual real business here is probably $500,000 to $600,000. So how do you raise your money?
Okay.
Right? Okay, let's talk about that.
Okay.
How can the community help you?
Couple of ways we raise our money. One is, yes, federal grants that come through the state. We also get private foundation grants.
Okay.
So that's another piece of our pie.
Okay.
And then we have city and local government support that we do have some contracts and some support that way.
Does that create in the grant process your matching money?
Yes, we can use it that way.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
You
We
got to
can
have
also
it.
use our United Way money that way as well.
Okay.
So United Way is also one of our partners for.
That's a big one, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah, we're very grateful for that partnership.
Yeah,
And then
most people are. It's a good one.
we also have the Safe and Assist program that runs through all of our utility partners. So Oak Ridge Utility District, City of Oak Ridge, CUB, Powell Clinch Utility District. They all raise funds for helping people with utility bills.
Mm-hmm.
And then that money gets sent directly to ADFAC without any money coming out of it, no administration money, and then we also don't take anything out of it and put it right back out for helping with utilities.
That's
So
good.
Safe and Assist is another way that we pull in money to be able to help with utilities specifically. So that's kind of the big pieces of how we get the big dollars, and then we also have, obviously private donor donations, and that is actually becoming a larger and larger piece of our pie, which is great. So we'll do our annual giving campaign in the next couple of weeks, so it'll be February and March, and we do that one campaign with our donors, and then we do another one at the end of the year.
How do you
kind of
reach your donors?
Right now, we still do mail, and we also do email. So
Mail's still effective. I mean, I'm in the political world. Yes, listen, if you're getting direct mail, that means that's what you should do too. And that's the smart stuff to do.
So it's good. So we'll do that in the next couple of weeks, and then we have 2 large fundraisers that we do.
Okay.
So one is the Murder Mystery, and that will be May the 2nd this
It's complicated
spring.
for me. I can't
Murder
understand
mystery?
it.
Oh, no, it's
Yeah,
fun.
my wife loves that stuff, but I'm just.
Oh, it's fun. And I'm not a murder mystery person. Like, I'm not a person that really likes that
We
kind
did
of
one
stuff,
for our
but-
Christmas party, and it was kind of silly, I thought.
That's
But
fun.
It was all right. It was good. It was fun. It was fun. I shouldn't say that. I'm being a grouch. I shouldn't that. But, I mean, it's just kind of theatrical for me.
It is. It's more theatrical than I'm comfortable with.
Yeah,
I'll
me
be
too.
honest with you.
Yeah.
And so I always joke with our staff that it's not my event, but I like to go and take pictures.
I don't
and
mind
be
the
there.
theatrical
I love it.
as long as there's something out there that's beyond the theatrical. When the theatrical becomes the focus, I get a little lost on the thing. But
It's a lot of fun.
I'm not your stand. I'm your. You don't worry about me. You just push me aside and keep going. You know how it is.
It is fun, and I do enjoy watching everybody who enjoys it. So
yeah,
it's fun.
Actually, that's exactly
I
me
like
too. I like
watching it.
watching people too.
Yeah.
That's exactly, and they do get into it. A lot of people do. And
So-
what's the other thing?
Okay, so Murder Mystery is going to be at Calhoun's on May the 2nd. So that's the first one. And that's going to have a theme this year that is a 1980s theme. So it's got like a
Luckily, I've lived through all the decades. now.
murder
You
in
can't
the
miss me.
80s. Yeah,
You
so
can't
it's fun.
miss me. I mean,
Yeah, so
it could be a
that's-
techno murder or a Wall Street murder or something. What was big in the 80s? Disco.
Yeah. Well, disco is
Remember
70s.
disco?
Disco's more 70s, right?
Oh, that's good.
Right.
That's my
You
style.
know, you
right
got
there.
the John Travolta stuff. And then
Yeah, late 70s. Yeah.
our larger fundraiser is actually in November, and that's our bow tie event, and that will be November 15th
And
this year.
where do you hold that at?
That is going to be at Doubletree this year.
We don't hold a lot of options. I like Double Trailer.
We like having it there. They're very good to us. They treat us really
we've
well.
been there for, I've raised money there for years. It's a good place.
Yep. So that'll be November 15th. We will announce that person, that winner, that awardee in the next few weeks. We haven't done that publicly yet, but we will. We honored Jim and Sheila Michael last year. So this coming year, it's not yet been announced.
My son went to school. I remember when their kids were real good people.
Yeah,
real
good people.
Yeah,
Very good people.
Very good people.
So yeah.
And so a lot of people have weighed in. A lot of people have helped a lot. So you sense as much support as you've ever had. Yeah, but you're a magnet. I mean, people really like you, Annie. I mean,
Thank
of all
you.
the nonprofits we think of in the community, did you grow up there?
I did.
I forgot that.
did.
What year did you graduate? Here we
I
go.
graduated from Oak Ridge in '87, the same
You're
year
a
that
child.
ADFAC was created.
You're a child.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I
it's all
keep
good.
thinking I can't keep up with ages anymore.
It's
That's
okay.
good.
I don't need you to.
That's good. I got it.
So,
I got
no,
it.
it's
Let me do
a-
the math though. I got the math. You're getting into 60%. 3 or 4 years. 3 or 4 years from 60, right? Feel like
Yeah,
50s.
I have
Come on, Annie, get
I have
out.
a birthday later this month, and I'll be 56.
That's good.
So
That's good.
it's all good.
It's all
I'm
good.
grateful.
That's right.
I'm grateful to
That's
still
exactly
be
right.
here.
Yeah, the wind's at my back. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm downhill
exactly.
from here.
I can see the sunshine. It's all
I'm
good.
downhill from here. So what would you like to promote the most about? What's the most exciting thing about what you do at your job?
I think what I really cherish about what we do is just the fact that I truly believe that what ADFAC does is like a cornerstone in our community. Like, not only are we
Cornerstone of what?
of helping people,
Okay.
of being a resource,
Okay.
of being a place where
It's a resource everybody needs.
many people who don't know where to go, they often start with us. And we can then help them to figure out where they need to go.
You know,
we can't solve everybody's problems,
No.
but we can certainly help refer them and get them out to where they need to go.
And on that note, I take food to the food bank every week at St.
Oh, good for you.
Mary's, and the lines are getting longer and longer.
Yes, they are, sir.
So, I mean, I think the need is growing in a number of areas, and I think I do honestly think, not so much in your world, but mental health has a lot to do with that.
Oh,
But-
absolutely. We see that all the time, and we make referrals all the time.
Well,
for that.
electricity, I would say that would come a lot, and rent assistance too. Yeah, so-
Absolutely.
and different things, but.
Absolutely.
And you know,
tough.
it's you know, you're kind of caught in between a little bit because you're not really in my 70s generation, but there's a lot of dysfunction in 20 years in kids of the 90s. I mean, just a lot of dysfunction in those children, and they've raised another generation of children. And so we're in a position where I don't know. I don't have any, you know, I think it's going to get worse, not better.
Well, we're doing our best to make sure,
You sure
at least we make sure they start school ready to learn, right? Like they've
That's
got
good.
they've
And,
got
you
the
know,
right supplies and they're ready to start the school day.
If my world's caving in on me and I don't have a job and everything's going on in different, I still want my safe home place.
Absolutely.
I want the utilities on, and I'll get through it. Somebody will give me a biscuit, and I'll be all right. And we'll go down to McDonald's, which is always cheap, but not good food. But I mean, McDonald's has good food, but it's not healthy food. And so you know what I'm saying. I mean, we'll get through it. We can get through it. We've learned to do it. I get a kick watching these tariff wars with China. I mean, they'll get a bucket of rice and go forever. We'll be going, why can't I afford my high-end wash at Kroger's at the Express Wash anymore? I mean, I don't know if we're made equipped to do those washes.
I can't
We're
afford
not
the
tough
car
enough.
washes anyway, so I'm not in that market.
Aren't they? It's getting more. I do the basics, just wash off the dirt, and get the stuff out of there. But I think we need to, you know, I think it's a tougher community. I think the environment's getting tougher, and I think there is. We used to say it all the time when we were younger, but I think there is a polarization of wealth. I think that people that are in the stock markets and people that have good jobs are doing really well, and I think there's a whole lot of people that are struggling to stay employed.
I don't know, but I do know we have a lot of people who are struggling. I definitely know that because we're hearing from them.
We
So-
try to find out why. That's what we were talking about. Free medical clinic creates a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety.
Absolutely.
And people, you know, and it's just, you know, I don't know. It's been hard. But we need people like you. We need ADFAC, probably one of the older, more reliable institutions in the nonprofit world. Although most of them are, but people come in and out of nonprofits. I mean, there are some that are really reliable.
Yeah.
Free medical clinic, yourself. We've had some others, and it's hard in your world because you manage a lot of money. I mean, you have to be very dependable, very accountable. I'd say you have a lot of scrutiny on you from the federal government and other areas of state because you have so much money coming through. And you've done such a great job that people trust you, and it's there in the city of
Thank
Oak
you.
Ridge especially.
Thank
you
you.
all have worked with the city for so long, and it's not fun not having the electricity.
No, it's not. So we want to make sure we are here to
it's
keep
a very
helping
important
people.
job. Food is important, but you know, you can walk across the street and say, "Give me a hamburger." You can't turn your electricity on. And
That is true.
I just think in temperatures of 10 and 15 degrees, it gets to be really tough. And sometimes it's not shutting it off for a bill. Sometimes it can break down or something can happen.
Sure.
It's just tough for people and families to get through that. I think, and we're just very blessed that you're doing what you do.
Thanks. We feel
'Cause,
blessed to be able to do it.
And people say to me, "What's the name of it?" Because I'm so busy and I'm so old and tired. They'll say, "What's this? What's this? Who runs this?" But you never forget the name Annie Cacheiro. You just know.
Well, thank you.
You know,
I
it's a good
appreciate
thing.
that.
That's good for your organization.
Thank you.
That you have to have a branding within all these organizations. That's what I do for a living. That works. They have to see it. Like Sean and Gleason's thing of IB3. Everybody knows Sean in the community. City does a great job for the community. We need more people like that. He's 45 years old.
I know.
And
Impressive.
It's scary, isn't he? Yeah, he's impressive.
Impressive.
He's impressive. I tell Warren that all the time. I say he's pretty impressive. But
It's a good compliment.
yeah, he is. He's a workhorse, and he stays out of the battle. He's in the private sector. We work together on a lot of stuff. But I'm really grateful for ADFAC, and
Thank
I'm
you.
grateful that you're there. People, we need to get behind them. If you don't do anything, do some little things like tell your city councilman or your county commissioner what a great job ADFAC does in your community. Please keep funding them, giving them the help they need. If your state representative calls Randy McNally, call Rick Scarborough, tell them, look, we need these state grants to get in here to ADFAC. We got to have them.
Absolutely.
And anything you can do to help Annie Cacheiro, you do it. We got 15 seconds. Say what you want to say.
I just want to say thank you to the community for being so supportive for ADFAC all these years, and keep doing it for us so we can keep helping everybody else.
Neatest notes of any guest ever. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.